Right, sorry, what was that you were whispering? Everything okay? Good to go here on The Moment. My goodness, I think I know you. I've met you before. Welcome back to The Moment with the Munsons. How are you? Do you think you'll be able to knock off for the next 30 minutes?
No,
or should I not
I
have said
can't.
that as an embedded command?
I can't actually guarantee that.
Right.
My voice is lowered a good couple of notches.
Sexy.
Yeah, there you go. Hello, world. How are you?
Well done for delivering your amazing session at the Rise Beyond Spiritual Summit over the weekend.
Oh my goodness!
You lifted yourself from your sickbed, didn't you? And,
I
and
really
shared
did.
that.
And afterwards, I noticeably crumpled. I think, when like sometimes we can kind of kid ourselves, can't we? We can pull ourselves out. But yeah, I really wasn't that well at all.
No.
And yeah, I'm a little bit vacant, a little bit absent. So please go easy on me today.
Don't I always? Right. It's I've been quite rocked by some news that I've
Seriously,
just seen today.
It's so nice to be back here, by the way.
Oh, good. Well, it's nice to have you back, I have to say.
Thanks for being a rock star as well.
How do you mean?
Well, keeping it going.
The funny thing is, I want to cough now. All that talk of coughing is so bad.
Let's see who's joining
Deb's
us today.
Here. Looking good, Mrs. Munson, and you sound a bit sexy. I agree.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Deb.
Right.
I hope you had a lovely weekend at the.
Deb, can we have a little bit of feedback from you on the weekend?
Yeah,
because I don't think Louise has seen that, but it was extraordinary. It really was extraordinary what went on. And yes, and please check in, everybody. How you doing? How's your week going? I know it's only Tuesday, but these are interesting times. Let me just put it like that. And I think things are unfolding day to day, it would appear. Is that your experience as well?
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, I'm a little bit absent. I think I've already said that. So I'm a little
so
surprised.
Absent, you forgot that you already said that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I started the show and we were on screen, which is the wrong way. And then just before the screen started, before the once the outro, the intro had finished, I didn't have us on screen. So I'm getting everything back to front at the moment. So I'm still getting back into gear.
You're fine. You're fine.
I got to meet Vinny yesterday.
Yeah, that's great news.
What a wonderful.
Hope you gave him our love, Deb.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And oh my, what a wonderful weekend, the Rise Above.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. And I was so energized by it, you say as well, which is lovely.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I do think lots of people are being rocked by so many different things at the moment.
Yeah.
We have Neptune changed signs on Sunday and Mercury went back retrograde again into Pisces. So I do think some vagueness as we're shifting is to be expected.
Yeah, and there was a huge human resonance blast, wasn't there, in the last couple of days as well?
You said that. I don't always follow that.
Can't keep up to date with everything, can we?
I can't. I really can't. So what do you want to share with me that's rocked you so badly today?
Quite amazing. I saw this image on the internet, which goes with an incredible news story that seems to be circulating today. Let me just bring this onto the screen here and read from my phone. Sorry, but let me just share with you. Well,
it looks like she's doing the Girl Guide.
Is it Star Trek?
Looks like she's doing a Girl Guide thing.
Right. Okay.
I promised to do my best, to do my duty to God.
Yeah, but also Spock as well going on there. I hadn't noticed that significance there. There's going to be a lot read into this, I'm sure. And I'm reading from a source on social media on this day. Oh, welcome to April, by the way, as well. In these turbulent times, the strangest things are happening. It seems a large global burger chain, I think we know who that is, are taking their strapline to a new level, literally and spiritually. For today only, all of their burgers will be individually, today only, all of their burgers will be individually Reiki blessed. Which the Big Mac bosses say is a way of truly loving it. Isn't that amazing?
So what you need, like the sound of a bong at the end of it.
Staff at the international franchise. Should we have a coughing break?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Let's have a good cough on. There you go. All right, we're back. Staff at the international franchise will have another star added to their identity badges. I think it's hidden on this young lady's chest here, isn't it? But you know the badges that you get in a burger store.
Yeah, where it says
show your level of competence. Yeah, well, you get badges, don't you?
What, their level of awakening?
No, well, not quite. That's a good call. Another star added to their identity badges, Reiki 1. having undergone.
Everyone's got Reiki 1 these days.
Well, these guys do. Having undergone an online healing and psychic development course, now available they are to bless each burger before handing it over to the customer. This brings going large to a new level for me, said one excited and recently trained restaurant worker. And just for today, when anyone asks for a medium at work, they might be surprised.
Very good, very good.
The spiritual shake-up.
Are they going to do spiritual shakes?
In the fast food industry is expected to have competitors following suit with massage, counseling, and past life regression, truly giving diners happy meals.
Wow. And they can make memories whilst they're doing it. That's so brilliant.
Yeah, look at that. Yes, Paul, I am still keeping fit. My uphill roadrunner, my hero. Oh, Paul.
What does that mean? Uphill roadrunner?
When we met Paul and Sue by the big sand dune, I ran up the
hill. That's right.
He's still impressed by that. So there you go. That's incredible. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that's great.
Okay, awesome.
Take me to one of those restaurants.
Awesome, says Deb as well. MC Donald's, I think they're called, aren't they? As well. Surely not. I went deep into my soul to learn who I really was. That's not connected with my visit to McDonald's, I think there. So hold on a minute. I've taken our.
You just go up.
What do I need to do now? Do I need to? Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. We're back on the screen. Right. So Tuesday.
That was brilliant.
The 1st of
Who
April
wrote that?
Here. That's just something I found on the internet. Just
wonderful.
Which you can find in our Barefoot Broadcast group there. That is an amazing step. One small step for all those workers. One giant leap for mankind.
Could you imagine what would happen if all food got blessed? You know, when I before I met you, the year before I met you, I went to live in Bali for a little while. And so I was doing a lot of yoga retreating, poi retreating and things like that, and hanging out with like serious hippies. And when I say hippies, I don't mean anything in a kind of pejorative way. I mean just people who are on a consciousness pathway.
Yeah, it means hippie in its original meaning means awakened one.
Okay, thanks. And so we would eat all our meals together, and they'd all be vegan and so on and so forth. And that's the first time when I came across people that were blessing food.
Right.
Like every single course, every drink. Sorry, can you stop me?
Should we have a little cough break, everybody? You'll be glad we did that.
Yeah, really. Okay, look how flushed I look. It's nice to be back, though. Thanks for welcoming me back, everyone. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the first time I came across blessing food as a process, but it's really nice. And actually, then I realised we do bless food. You know, people that hold hands together to say grace,
and when it's made with love, that's a blessing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but like bringing the love back into food seems really, really important. I think.
Into everything. Yeah. I mean, why would we not? Why would we not in any area of our lives? It's like you can't laugh and cry at the same time. Oh, can you?
I think I've definitely done
that. Ignore that.
Excuse me.
Hold on, meeting up.
Welcome, cough fans. Maybe I shouldn't be on screen today. I mean, look at me. I look like a beetroot.
The WCF, the World Coughing Federation, and here is our contender for the title. Look, it's hard to watch, isn't it, Deb? I think.
I am trying to. I mean, I worked with a client yesterday.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, "Oh, bless you."
Aren't you supposed to be saying that to the client? I don't think it's meant to work that way around, is it?
Yeah, I know. Right, it's meant to work the other way
There's
around.
only one thing for it. Let's just feel the weight of our bodies in the chair, shall we? And see what we can do to go to a different part of our awareness and our anatomy and our physiology. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. For those of you who like a midday Munson moment and just a chance to connect truly and as fully as you possibly can with the present moment, let's do that now by being in our bodies. Feel the weight of the body on the chair. And I think it was Melissa over the weekend who said, feel your sit bones. So feel your sit bones and be aware of them. And as inevitably as other thoughts come in, like, I don't want to be meditating now, or, oh God, why does he always have to do this? See the thoughts arise and don't get attached to them. Let them come and go. They're just thoughts. They're just brain farts happening. And you can be here now in your body, being connected with your breath, which isn't the most easy thing for Mrs. M to do, but How about that? Just be aware of the air coming in and out of your body in a relaxed and easy way, Mrs. M and everybody. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Grateful for the air that we breathe and that energizes us, and grateful blessings on our on the oxygen that is vital to our existence.
How we bless food, isn't it?
There you go. There you go. So, do you feel any different? I imagine you being on screen and coughing might have been a little difficult for you.
Yeah.
Did that change your state a little bit there?
It makes me realise I want you to do most of the talking, and I'll nod.
Oh, because I wanted you to tell us about the astrological picture at the moment. Is that too much?
Might be able to do little bits.
Can you? Okay. Could you give us a little bit of a commentary on what's going on in your own down-to-earth, practical way? Because if you look at YouTube, it's like, this is it. Yeah. It's happening. And, this is the game of YouTube, isn't it? Is to attract attention. And we understand why people do it. And, fair enough. But could you give us a demystified and practical and grounded view? I mean, and it is true, isn't it? I mean, some incredible things are happening at the moment. But could you do that without too much hype and hyperbole?
Yeah.
Nice and easy, does it?
Neptune's just moved into the sign of Aries, and he's not been there for 165 years. So we've not known this in our lifetimes. Previously, the sign he's been in, Pisces, has been a place where we've explored all areas of our imagination, but really unconsciously. So we've taken ourselves down paths that have maybe felt like we've gone down rabbit holes. We might have taken ourselves down some paths where we can't quite understand it.
Let's have a little sip of water as well, sure. Take your time. Blessings and gratefulness, gratitude for the water too, are vital to our function.
Well, water is all about Neptune. Like Neptune is the god of
I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't do that on purpose.
And so if we think of the emotions, we're talking about consciousness, the psychic energy, the psychic realms. So Neptune changing signs is quite important. Now, the sign of Pisces has a lot to do with the dissolution of who we are. Like, we've come to the end of one identity, and in the last 14 years, as it's been in Pisces, we've really not known who we are or were, and we've been distracted. There's been lots of things that have been quite deceptive in the last 14 years. So things like social media have got bigger and bigger, and then lots of narratives of, like misinformation, this, that, and the other, and censorship. They're all really kind of murky. Now, I don't think anyone really truly knows what is true and what's false, apart from what they can experience with their own senses, which, funnily enough, is where it's bringing us back to now, because it's gone into Aries. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And so we're taking
full circle,
the psyche. We're taking the psyche, the emotions, our psychic energy, now into a real sort of single point of focus, really clear, really pure, really dynamic, about vitality. And so I think in the next 14 years, we're going to see lots of really strong spiritual warriors, gurus, teachers, spiritual entrepreneurs coming out, spiritual leaders. I think there's going to be a real change. And it's going to cause some disruption. The last time Neptune went into Aries 165 years ago was actually the day before the American Civil War. Now, I want to make it really clear that this doesn't mean there's going to be a war again, although there's lots of people talking about things like that. But around the world at that time, there was a lot of neutrality. There was a lot of people re-identifying who they were.
Realigning.
Realigning. Yes, so yes. I see this as a cosmic realignment where...
Ooh, and an opportunity, possibility.
Definitely a possibility.
Yes.
Because whatever has prevented all of us from seeing clearly when Neptune was in Pisces, all of a sudden, it's like the scale's going to fall from our eyes. And for some of us, it might be a bit harder because I don't think anyone here actually knows the full truth about anything.
Yeah.
Apart from what we feel in our heart. And even that is influenced often by what we've been told third or fourth hand.
And what we're healing from.
Yes, definitely.
Or responses to our traumatic past.
Absolutely, because we can only hear information and take it on to the level of openness and vulnerability that we will permit.
Or have achieved, have realized,
Like if we're really afraid, we're going to see all new information as an attack.
Yes.
Or a possible violence against us. And so, there's a lot of healing that I think is going to take place.
Yeah.
And for that to happen, I think there's, and I always think whatever's going on in the world is also going on for us. So I think wherever we've all been fractured over the last 14 years, or uncertain, or felt like we were dancing between worlds and not being able to make sense of things are going to come into focus, and we might realize that we've been fooling ourselves or being fooled, or both.
Yes.
And I know there's loads of things that I've lied to myself about, and when I say lie, that sounds so severe, doesn't it? Like, bad you.
Or but we do it innocently. Misinformed about in regards to yourself.
Or I've misinformed myself about who I am.
Yes.
I was writing to one of our friends last night. Writing, it makes it sound like I got a pen to paper.
Dear diary.
But in fact, it was a quick note on Messenger.
Yes. My dear friend, I hope this finds you well.
And she asked me how I was. And all of a sudden, this moment of clarity came out. And I said, oh my God, it's like this. And I can't remember exactly what I said, but it came out. It came out. I wrote it out, and I really got a chance to see what racket I've been playing. And I said to her, oh my God, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see if I can remember to pick that one up and work with it. So I think anywhere where we've had a racket on ourselves to keep us hidden, to keep us afraid. Something else as well, like, I was talking about like spiritual leaders. I was listening to the diary of a CEO this morning. He's got someone called Alex Hermosi that he's interviewed, and I was listening to him.
We're big fans of Alex, aren't we?
Because he's really
we
cool.
use his school platform that he's part of as well for both of our memberships.
He's very, very cool, and he was talking about, the successful person is able to stand outside of their culture and to stand outside of their fear, like to have courage to absolutely be themselves, and to carry the shame, like to deal with shame, to not be shameable. And that's not to say to be a terrible person. It's just to see it differently.
Yes, to withstand the norming.
I
suppose.
Yeah. And I realized that actually, I don't really know myself. Like, for especially since I've been a mum, and I think this is quite normal for parents, I've lived a lot more in the confines of what I think it is to be a mum. Right. And I've been a lot less courageous and forward-thinking and direct as I used to be.
Which is fair enough, isn't it?
Because you need to protect your young,
when you're in charge of infants and toddlers, that's a very important aspect of nature, isn't it?
So
and your instinctive desires.
So I think there's going to be a lot more material, a lot more information coming out from people who have already freed themselves from some of their own BS, from some of their own well-meaning but possibly quite damaging.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is very interesting, isn't it? Because
self-talk.
There's a lot of. It's very easy to call out other people's stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to be doing it for ourselves.
Yeah, I think perhaps what you're referring to, and the space is clearing for the ability to look at ourselves. The old thing, when there's one finger pointing out, there's three pointing back, and we are going to get the most powerful dynamics, leverage, aren't we, by looking within? Because it's the only thing we can really shift. I mean, Tom was saying this yesterday. The only thing that really changes for anybody is their point of view.
Yeah.
And, whilst we're criticizing others, we can't really be changing our own. Well, we are having a point of view, aren't we? But it's not necessarily very healthy or useful one.
Yeah.
What's going to be really juicy and freeing and liberating and expanding is really taking responsibility for our own perception of what we are experiencing. Yeah. So the astrological stage is set for that, is it?
Yeah. May I just add something about America?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't want to make you over talk.
No, it's fine.
Your voice seems to have calmed down
because I'm doing it really quietly.
It sounds great. Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like the day after Neptune went over this point, there was a civil war in America, but not anywhere else. So there were actual some peaceful things that were going on, and some neutrality. So what I really observed with this was that there was a change, like a marked change in how things were being conducted. And so they were changing according to what I guess people felt was needed. And what's significant? So I thought, well, why did America have that particular reaction? And when I looked at the chart for America, which is based on the time and the date and the place, allegedly, of when the Declaration of Independence was signed, it's called the Sibley chart.
Yes, I've heard of this. Yeah.
So
was that an astrologer, Sibley?
I don't know. I have no idea, probably. But the Sibley chart, there's a point in the birth chart known as the IC. It's an angle. There's 4 angles, like the
should we have a little cough break? Okay. I do hope you are coughing along at home and joining in so don't be too long, because you need to rest your voice, obviously. But this is very important what you're saying.
So there are 4 angles in a birth chart, and one of the angles is associated with the home and a sense of belonging and a sense of the identity that makes you feel at home. And in America, that degree, I think, is at 1 degree in the sign of Aries, 0 or 1. So Neptune is really, really, really close to it, if not right on it. And so that, like when you look at other country charts, their charts are very different. They have different sensitive points. And so I think that is why when Neptune last went over this point, it created a kind of fight for what it meant to be American, or what it meant to live or feel like a sense of belonging. So, and the last time Neptune changed signs in my birth chart, it actually went over this point, and it was the year then I met you.
Right.
And since then, we've moved many times. Our home identity has changed quite a lot, hasn't it? It's been quite disruptive. I mean, in my whole period of time, even though I feel really at home with you and our family, like the feeling of security in an actual home has felt very different. So sort of using my own interpretation of how I've experienced it, and also what I see in America's chart, I think there's possibly going to be a feeling of restlessness. I do note that it also has been a time of real creativity for me, because Neptune also brings creativity and spirituality and things like that. So it also, like, I met you, you got me back into talking about spirituality and on my spiritual path, but also knocked me off the home path. You didn't knock me off my home path, but there are these sensitive points. And so I do think there's going to be like a restlessness possibly coming up, but it's from that restlessness that comes this really strong spiritual grounding. So I really see it, this position of Neptune is likely to create some changes.
It's an incredible time.
I do think there's going to be a lot of people
States,
in and out. I think, if people feel like they're orphans where they live, and I think lots of people do feel orphans, like
will they be looking for home and looking for family?
Yeah.
At a deep level.
Yeah, I'm not talking about people born without parents.
Yeah, but
like
the feeling of
feeling of being an orphan, the feeling of not having roots, the feeling of not, because I don't feel like I've got roots. I know where I was born.
I've given up on that, frankly. It's never been an issue.
You've never really had roots, have you?
No. I've been essentially rootless, and to even have the conversation is like, oh, that's interesting. People think about that, do they? It's like I've no idea, and I wouldn't know how to trace my roots. Actually, it wouldn't be an easy job. It's incredible. I mean, can I just say the Sibley chart? I was trying to find out if it was named after somebody called Sibley. But it's a fascinating phenomenon in its own right, isn't it? And
lots of people argue about it.
I bet they do, as you would expect. It can be seen from the Sibley chart that the US is a strongly Cancerian country. That I didn't know, but
which is about the home and family,
and it makes sense,
and the religion,
and being an emotional sense of personality as well, with a 4-planet stellium of Venus, Jupiter, Sun, and Mercury. So there's lots to explore there, and I'll have to find out who Sibley was. But quite incredible, isn't it? The whole idea of that and what we can find out. But more importantly, at the moment, the echo in time of this moment that happened 165 years ago, and all that can mean, and how it can impact people as well, and what we can do with it.
I mean, I did I was a little croaky when I did my presentation over the weekend at the summit, but I did a 45-minute presentation to teach you how to find the sensitive points in your chart. By looking at key dates, birth dates, big events that have happened. Like I mentioned, the moment I met Carl, that was a really big moment in my life. And there's usually something really big going on around that. And so you can start to map that, but we have that with countries as well.
Yes.
So it's incredible, actually, that you can map everything astrologically.
Can I ask you a question in these last 3 minutes?
Go
And
on.
want to
good leadership.
want to as an invitation to people as well, is what you seem to be talking about is the influence of the ideas, notions of family, home. Are you in or are you out? What's your identity? And if that's what we're faced with, you could understand that on the one hand, that will be quite disturbing for people, because we don't really want to talk about those things, do we? We want to take for granted that we feel at home and that we're part of something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work out that we can take that for granted, and things happen, don't they, to challenge that in our individual lives. And it seems that there's a collective challenge to that at the moment. Now, the positive of that, of course, if you're happy to sit down and look in the mirror rather than just keep walking past your reflection, is okay, here we are.
Yes.
We are in this moment potentially.
Yeah.
What might I positively, proactively, dynamically, and creatively see in this moment for myself and collectively? And that's a much more powerful, that might bring people power and understanding and authority, sovereignty in these times, mightn't it, to see it like that? Because on the one hand, it's like, oh my God, it's like, all this is happening, I don't know what to do about it. It's quite destabilizing.
Yeah.
But if you take the view that this could be an incredibly creative and incredibly deep moment to define who you are and what you want to be, you could completely reframe and turn this around.
Absolutely. I would say that according to your astrology, like if you're an American, and obviously you're living in America, so you're living in the astrological energy of America's chart.
Yeah.
But if your chart also has a similar coding, you're likely to be one of these people that really feels it. Because, I'm noticing some people are really feeling a stirring, and other people are feeling a sense of opportunity or a sense of chance or a sense of expansion. So, I really think where there are these invisible wheels of these like charts working together.
Take a look. See what's possible for yourself.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Another point, talking of your beautiful voice, which you have had to nurse in this last 15 minutes. And I think it's right that you do that. Your beautiful voice, Deb said, had me crying during the summit, Louisa. These were in the hypnotherapy or the hypnotic meditation that was running as part of the reels between sessions.
Bless you.
I felt like you were talking directly to me, and that's what you intended with that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a universal message.
When I created that, and I know we've got to go in a sec, I created it as what I needed to hear. And so I cuddled one of my children, and then I thought, oh, what am I saying to them? And then that was the script.
Wonderful.
And you can hear it for free on New Reality TV.
There you go. The summit was like I had attended a retreat. I left there feeling so freaking alive.
That's amazing.
Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everybody who may see this. We'll see you soon. See you soon.
Lots of love.
Bye. Bye.